Okay, welcome. My name is Rachel Garcia. Most of you watching have probably seen something already. Whoever invited you said, hey, got something, you need to take a look at it. Maybe they shared their story with you, told you a little bit about why they're excited about this, why they invited you to take a look. Maybe they told you nothing. I know that when I first looked at this, my brothers didn't really tell me very much about it at all. They said, we know you're really into health and nutrition. We know you're into multiple streams of income. You've got to take a look. If I'm being honest, we had just started two separate businesses. My husband and I, we live in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, and we had invested $50,000 in a construction company and $50,000 in a skincare retail store. In addition to working full time, I worked full time as a physician assistant. At that time, I'd been practicing medicine 10 years. I was seeing approximately 60 patients a day, writing 200 prescriptions a day. The days I wasn't seeing patients, I was in the OR cutting cancers out of my patients. So very, very full schedule. And on top of that, I had two small children, 9 months old and 3 years old. So if I'm being very honest, I was overwhelmed with life. And I felt like I'd done everything right. I'd gotten the good grades, I'd gotten into good schools, um, I'd studied hard, gotten a great job. I mean, a PA in the fields of dermatology, surgery, plastic surgery, like that's the field everybody wants to go into. Very little amount of call, high pay. But I'll tell you what, I was handcuffed to working to make the money. Construction was up and down. My husband had a building construction degree from the University of Florida. He was working as a full-time estimator, and that income was not something we could count on to pay our mortgage. So there was no option for me to step away from working. So I was actively looking for other ways to create income, thus the skincare retail store, thus the construction company. But that summer, 2008, my nephew was diagnosed with severe autism. And that is what began this road of looking for other options in regards to nutrition and health. And so I'm going to walk with you through some pictures through our story so you can understand really why I am so passionate about sharing this with others. So this is my nephew with the red hair. I sat with my sister in the summer of 2008. As the doctors told her, he will never speak. He will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. And as a PA with a master's degree in clinical medical sciences, I had so many questions. So I went on this journey of what is autism and why does he have it? And I had this little 9 month old who was scheduled for shots. I wanted to know, is it vaccinations? Is it genetics? And I began to understand through this extensive amount of research that what we put into our bodies really matters. And what's mind-boggling is I went to medical school and we did not learn about nutrition, guys. We learned about how to write prescriptions. We did not learn about nutrition. And so the girl in this picture on the left was really into health. Like I felt good about what I was doing. I'd read the book, The China Study. I was trying to put lots of plants in my body. I was going to the health food store. I was doing the juicing and had the personal trainer. And I was clearly struggling. Now, if you'd asked me if I was struggling, I would have been like, no, I'm fine. Because everybody always says they're fine, right? We don't walk around with signs that say, I haven't pooped in a week, or my child is suicidal at the age of 13, or I don't have money to pay my car payment this month. Like, we don't talk about these problems. And so I, in that picture, was struggling with my weight clearly, and I was struggling with sleep. My son had serious constipation issues. My pediatrician told me to put him on Miralax. Miralax is antifreeze in a bottle. Put no one you love on Miralax. So my brothers asked me to watch a presentation, much like what you're watching right now. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. I don't have time to add anything to my plate. As I watched this, I began to understand this was going to save me time. This was going to save me going to the health food store, doing the research on which calcium was best, which omegas were best, which vitamins were best. And when I learned they'd done all the research for 30 years, what I'm sharing with you tonight, for 30 years, this was used in a clinical practice with patients. I said, I am in. Like I started comparing what they had to what I had. What they had was better. Like click of a button, it comes to my house. I don't have to like pick and choose. Most educated people in the supplement world, by the way, they're buying 3 products from this company and 3 products from that company and 3 products from that company. It's just like a big smorgasbord of products. I could get it all from one place. I'm in. Within days, we started to see changes, which was shocking because who sees results with their vitamins? I mean, that's weird, right? But within days, my sleep issues resolved. My son's pooping issues resolved. 3 months in, I had gone from a size 14 to a size 8. Okay. My patients were all like, what are you doing? My husband had radical weight changes as well. But more importantly for me, he struggled with depression. He struggled with anger issues, and those totally resolved in 6 weeks. But I still wasn't telling anybody about it. I mean, even when my patients would ask, I'd be like, oh, it's just this thing I'm doing. I wouldn't talk about it. Plus, I didn't have time. I saw 20 patients in an hour. I mean, it's crazy. So I wasn't talking about it until my nephew. And so this is my nephew graduating from high school last year. Uh, I guess it was 3 months in that Christmas, he came into our house speaking in full sentences. We had been told he would never speak. He was totally nonverbal before Pure. So this was life changing for my sister, life changing for my family. It was my wake up call that I've got to pay attention to whatever the heck this is. And I dove in, did a bunch of research, wanted to find out, was Bo just a miracle, the result of prayer, or like was this a radical change for most children? Radical change for most children. So I've now been sharing this for 15 years. What is it? What am I sharing? This is a company that started in 2007. Our owners are billionaires and multimillionaires who recognized that there was a demand for what we have here. See, many companies that get started, they're like, ooh, what's the next hot, $1 trillion industry in the next 20 years? Health and wellness. Let's go hire some scientists who can create some new blueberries that have high amounts of something and sell it. Hire a marketing firm to make it pop up on the search engine websites when we search for high blood pressure issues or whatever. That's not how this started. This started because there was a 3-year waiting list for people to get into the clinic and on these products. They had to see a practitioner to get on these products. And the practitioner said, people shouldn't have to wait this long. Let's start a company, but let's spread it by word of mouth. And it has grown. And it's grown belly to belly, person to person. You have not seen us all over social media. We're not allowed to talk about getting people off of on social media, so we don't. It's literally, if you're on this, it's because somebody who I know has invited you to get on this. So our CEO and majority owner has been in this industry for 31 years. He's been in my shoes recommending products person to person. We have home offices in Texas, but also international offices in Korea and Japan. What we've got here is something that's very special because we're over 10 years old. We're past that scary first 5 years that only 2% of companies make it past. We've made it past that, but less than 100,000 people in the United States even know we exist. Okay, so some people are attracted to us for the health aspect. A lot of people, actually, that's what attracted me. And I would say there's two different groups of people who are attracted to the health side of it. There's the ones who aren't doing so great with their health and they know it. And when they lay awake in bed at night, they're worried about whatever it is their parents struggled with, recognizing I'm getting closer to that age. Maybe it's high blood pressure, maybe it's heart disease, cholesterol, maybe it's dementia, maybe it's Parkinson's that plagues your family. That's in your genetic pipeline and you're thinking about it. But it's so confusing, right? When you go online, you start typing in, what are my options? You don't want to be on medications. Yet the average 50-year-old in America is on 5 of them. You don't want to be on them, but you don't know what to do. If you go to the health food store, there's an 18-year-old trying to answer your questions. He makes minimum wage. Don't ask him. You ask your healthcare provider. We write prescriptions, right? So people are looking. So that's one group that's attracted to what we have. The other group is the really into nutrition people. That's me, right? Look at the back of every bottle. Know my stuff about vitamins. Got the resveratrol, the selenium, the CoQ10, the quercetin. We've got it all. We see this and we're like, oh my gosh, it's got everything. In plant form, I'm in. And then we attract the people who, right now, this is a huge group of people in the United States worried about the economy, worried about the future, went through the pandemic and recognizing that it's not wise to have one stream of income, looking for additional streams of income. But what can I do? Do I invest $50,000 in a franchise? Do I go get another job? Like, what can I do to create additional income? That's where I was in 2008, looking, trying to figure out how to make additional income. So we attract both groups. This is why we're different, right? People ask all the time, well, how are we different from what your cousin sells or what this is or what that is? And is it legit? So I'm going to attack both of those right now, okay? This is how we're different. If you're going to start a business, you're going to take the time out of your life to open your mouth and recommend something. First, it should be for 100% of the demographic, not just the women who want to put expensive skincare on their face. I used to own an expensive skincare retail store. That's a small demographic, guys. Small percentage of ladies are willing to spend $100 a month on their face. And when the economy crashes, they go away. They're putting that money into their groceries, into their air conditioning bill, not their face. Okay, it's the first thing to go. You don't want that. You want something that's for 100% of people, every man, every woman, every child who has a body at some point or another recognizes what you put in here really matters. And it even matters for your dogs and your cats. I mean, people spend more money on their dogs and their cats' health oftentimes than they do on their own. Okay. So it's for everybody. It's a consumable product. We all have friends who sell vacuum cleaners or juicers or water purifiers. Those are one time purchases. You want something they're going to have to repeat purchase. That's a business, right? Ours products are consumable. So like even for my friends who sell the oils, like you buy one of those little things of oils that are I don't know, $20, it lasts for 6 months. Like that's not a good business. You want something that's necessary. What we have is a consumable product. And the gold medal is there because when we put 100 people on our core system, our 30-day servicing, I talk about servicing your body like you service your car. It's more important than your car, by the way. You only get one. You have multiple cars throughout your lifetime, multiple phones throughout your lifetime. One of these, yet we service our air conditioning units and our cars and our phones, and we treat them better than we treat this. So I talk about the 30-day servicing. When 100 people do the 30-day servicing, 90 out of 100, 93 out of 100 repeat purchase our products totally unsolicited. They don't keep doing the 30-day servicing every month. They find 2 or 3 things that they love, that they can tell when they use and they can tell when they don't use, and they repeat purchase. We're a 17-year-old company. We're totally debt-free. Less than 100,000 Americans know we exist. We're an international company, and our owners are very wealthy. They're not hurting for money. All of the investments made were paid back. We're profitable month after month. This is a hidden gem that very few people know about. Why not? I said it earlier. We haven't been on social media. We haven't been on social media. You're finding out about this because somebody that I know told somebody who told you, person to person, belly to belly. The business model is huge. My son is at Clemson. He's studying marketing. He took an entrepreneurship class last year. He interviewed me because his goal is to build a business just as I have, because he's seen the time freedom, he's seen the financial freedom. I've been doing this since he was 3. He doesn't understand why it's not a major that he had the opportunity to choose at Clemson. And so he said, Mom, while I was doing the project, what if they questioned me on the legitimacy of the business model? And I said, you go find these 2 guys, online, self-made billionaires, going on record saying that this is a phenomenal business model for anybody to create an additional stream of income because of the low investment, the low overhead, and the ability to leverage your time, meaning make money while you sleep, right? That you can find on record. He made an A on that project, by the way. So I was really intrigued by the fact that it was used in a clinical practice for 30 years. They decided to spread it by word of mouth. And I went into the corporate office in Texas a couple weeks ago and walked through. I came upon this bookcase where there's literally document after document after document on our products. I'm in this example opening up just our vitamin with the massive amount of clinical research and studies on what we have in the vitamin. That's just one of our products. The documentation, the science behind what this company is offering is huge. We do a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Why? Because nobody ever returns the products. Why? Because they work. We are different from other companies out there, guys. Very different. So I'm going to turn into a healthcare provider for a moment. I practiced medicine for 20 years as a PA. I walked away from that in December of 2019. But I believe that over 90% of the health issues that we face in the world are the result of these 3 things. This is a result of 20 years of practicing medicine, 15 years of recommending Live Pure products. We're toxic. We're toxic. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. If you've ever watched the movie Dark Waters, it's all about the Teflon and DuPont industries and how they literally poisoned us. And it was proven to cause cancer, but we all had it in our homes for decades. We've been poisoned for a very long time. We are being put in front of and consuming and ingesting things that our grandparents never even came into contact with. Our food is being sprayed by guys wearing hazmat suits, and then we're out of balance. And I like to talk about the book Chris Beat Cancer, which I've got up here, and the book The China Study, which I've got right here, and how many studies have been published showing that disease and infection thrive in an acidic environment. If you have an alkaline, oxygenated cell, inflammation and disease do not thrive there. This is proven over and over and over again. If you give me somebody who eats a lot of meat, dairy, sugar, soda, coffee, and bread, and you give me somebody who eats plants, plants, and more plants, who do you think is going to live the longest? It's proven over and over and over again. So I'm not saying I'm anti-meat, because by no means am I. We consume a lot of meat, a lot of protein in this house. We are all bodybuilders. I'm just saying it's important that you get more plants in high quality, high concentrated form than you do those other things, which is very difficult to do. We make it easy. Less than 60 seconds every morning. I'm going to show you how to do it. Most people consume too much sugar. They're sitting more than they're moving. They don't get enough sleep. We're going to make all that easy. We're undernourished. We are consuming packaged, processed food. Go to a local lunchroom and look at what the kids are consuming. This has been documented in studies for a very long time now. The Journal of Nutrition shows, this is at least 5 years old, that more than half of American kids are not getting the vitamins and minerals they need. So we supplement. We're like internet warriors. What's the best vitamin C? You know, whatever pops up first. They just paid a marketing company a lot of money to make their stuff pop to the top. You know that, right? So somebody you believe, like, and trust recommended you look at this. Why? Because they have a result of some sort. I can promise you that. If you have a cabinet like this, you're probably not taking all of it. You're taking a little bit of it here and there. You don't travel with it. So if you're supplementing and you can't tell that you're taking anything, why do you even have that? You should be able to feel results, see the lab work change if you're consistent with your supplementation. And for those of you watching saying, oh, I eat healthy, I don't need any of this, wrong. That's naive. We've known for over 14 years now that we can't get the nutrition from our food anymore. In 2010, you needed 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get the same nutrition our grandparents got from one of each of those things in 1960. So we must supplement. So if you must supplement to get the body working, your one irreplaceable asset, your one home for your soul, to get it working the way it was made to work, what are you going to do? You better make sure that what you're supplementing with actually works. Otherwise, you're just throwing your money literally down the toilet. Okay. Cleanse, balance, build is the 3-pillared philosophy that this whole company was started on and is based on. We have to cleanse the 7 eliminatory channels. Your lungs, your liver, your skin, your lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines. They need to be cleansed. And so we have multiple products in our 30-day servicing that cleanse all of those avenues out. Think of taking your car in for an oil change. You take your car in for an oil change. They don't just put new oil in. They get out the old sludge, okay? They don't let you drive off after they get the old sludge out. They put new oil in. So we're going to cleanse. We're going to balance out your pH and your hormone levels by pouring plant-based nutrition and building your trillions of cells up with whole raw food nutrition. We have a whole medical advisory panel of physicians, medical doctors who recommend the products over prescriptions in their offices. And many of our products are in the physician's desk reference. By the way, that's what I used to write prescriptions for 20 years. So this is our Core Plus. Company calls it the Core Plus. I call it the 30-day servicing. Why? Because I want you to think of servicing your body for 30 days like you service your car every 10,000 miles. And some people will say, well, I just went to the doctor. I just got a servicing. I was having some pain in my side. Well, how'd that go? What'd they do? They drew some blood. They did some scans. They gave you some prescriptions. Yeah, that wasn't a servicing, guys. That was Band-Aids, right? Let's cleanse, balance, and build. So we've got 3 cleansers on this page. That little green tincture is a blend of plants and herbs that cleanses all 7 channels you eliminate through. There's no explosions, I can promise you. You need to be, you're going to take that every single night. Okay, this organic sulfur is an essential mineral we used to get in our food supply. They used to fertilize the fields with compost and manure. Now they use chemicals. So we're almost all deficient in this essential mineral that's been proven in clinical study after clinical study after clinical study to decrease inflammation naturally. Inflammation is at the root of every disease we face. So that's one of our top sellers. In the beginning, these are all things you're going to use for your first 30 days. The Mila cleanses out your intestinal tract like a bottle scrub brush. It like gets in there and gets in all the nooks and crannies. There's so many cleanses out there that literally, you have these microscopic villi in your intestinal tract, and their job is to absorb nutrition. There's a lot of cleanses out there, guys, that just rip all the villi out of your intestine. Well, now you're depleted in nutrition. You can't absorb anything. So the Mila goes through and scrubs out in between the nooks and crannies. There's no ripping anything out. Then also the Mila decreases inflammation. It's got omega-3s in it. Omega-3s are huge for the brain, the brain to cell connection for brain development. Your brain actually sits in omega 3s, but we don't make them. We have to consume them. They're essential fatty acids, essential, meaning we have to consume them. If you have children, they need to be consuming omega 3s every day. I was talking to someone today who said their child is going through like an emotional, just, school starting and everything's crazy, like rage issues, right? Most households have at least one rager. Mila is huge for the moods and for the raging. It's calming. All right. It's huge for sleep, huge for weight loss, huge for sugar levels. If you struggle with being diabetic, pre-diabetic, if you struggle with cholesterol or blood pressure, there's fiber, soluble and insoluble fiber in the Mila. That's been shown for decades to be huge for triglycerides, cholesterol, blood pressure. I'm not telling you anything we have is going to cure your issue. I'm telling you when you give your body what it needs, it takes care of itself. We're just toxic and we're not giving our bodies what they need. The Daily Build is our vitamin that is the best vitamin on the planet. If you're one of those analytical people, pull up the nutrition facts. I'll show you where to get that in a minute. Compare it to what you've got. Give it a shot. The Goyen is our #1 seller. It's like marriage counselor in a bottle. Okay. It's like wine without the alcohol. Again, calming. If you struggle with anxiety, depression, mood issues, this might be your best friend. All right. The calcium is plant-based instead of being acidic cow's milk. It's plant-based, perfectly combined with magnesium, vitamin K, and vitamin D. So if you struggle with migraines, insomnia, if your bones are brittle, why are all the kids' bones breaking on the soccer field? I played soccer all through high school and in college. There were no broken bones. Kids tore their tendons and their ligaments, broken bones. Kids are breaking their bones left and right now. Why? Because they're all toxic and lacking in nutrition. And then our energy is meant to be a replacement for the acidic, super caffeinated, thyroid depleting energy drinks out there. So this is our 30-day servicing. It takes me 60 seconds in the morning and 60 seconds at night to get this in. I'm going to show you some pictures of how we do it in our house here in just a minute. Again, most people treat their cars and their phones better than their one irreplaceable asset. Whatever's in your genetic pipeline, it's coming to you faster than it hits your parents and your grandparents because of the toxins and the lack of nutrition. As you move into the later years in life, and listen, I know the younger you are, the less likely you are to even be thinking about your 60s or your 50s. But as you move into your later years, you're either going to look like the people in the top left. You can choose this to look like the people in the top left or the wheelchair in the bottom right. And I'm just going to change gears for 1 second. If you're living to paycheck right now and you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, it's very different to live paycheck to paycheck at that stage of life versus living paycheck to paycheck when you're in your 80s. Have you been to an assisted living facility or a nursing home lately? Make the choices now, guys. Make the choices now so that is not a situation that you're in. It might not be this, that's okay, but please do something if so that you're not living paycheck to paycheck in 10, 15, 20 years. So the 30-day servicing. This is what I recommend for people who are over 40 or who are on multiple prescription medications, the Core Complete. It's made up of our superfruits. They've been used for thousands of years for medicinal purposes, have been studied here in the US for the last 30 to 40 years. Like literally, you could do it while you're listening to me. Google Noni clinical studies. Holy moly, you're about to be blown away and you'll never go another day without consuming it. These are the 6 things that those 93 out of 100 people see within 30 days. Better sleep, more energy. Both of those things for me in a week. Less pain. I can totally tell when I don't take my products. I'm now 49. I can tell if I don't take them. Better bowel habits. Whether you go too much or too little, I could literally do an hour-long webinar on all the bowel issues in our country, whether we're talking about SIBO, leaky gut, parasites, constipation, diverticulitis, diverticulosis, whatever it is. You shouldn't be having those issues. We have testimony after testimony of people who've had radically changed bowel habits, things they've struggled with for over a decade sometimes, from cleansing, balancing, and building. Better mood. If you're the person with the bad mood, you don't really know you're in the bad mood, but everybody around you knows. Let's give them a better version of you. Okay. And then weight loss. I only lost 3 pounds my first month. I lost 28, 29 pounds the next 2 months. And so I don't know what's going to happen for you, but all of a sudden you're not hungry anymore. It shuts off the food noise. You're not shoving stuff in your face because you're hungry, because we're all literally starving if you're not building your cells up with whole raw food nutrition. And again, one of the questions I get is, oh my gosh, this seems like a lot, it's too much. Can't you just give me a gummy vitamin? No, gummy vitamins don't work. They don't work, guys. This is an amazing machine. You can't give it a gummy vitamin and think you're going to solve the problems. These are pictures of my boys doing superfruit shots from a very young age. Most of us do the smoothies. My boys actually still do the shots. I do the smoothie every single morning. This is me making a smoothie. Super, super simple. 30-day satisfaction guarantee. After a month, most people feel so good they choose to go forward with 2 or 3 of our products. So purelifechangers.com is a wealth of information. I'm talking fast. I'm going to stay on tonight and answer questions about whatever questions you want. Okay. We have a lot of different options to get started here. We have a skincare. I can literally do an entire hour-long webinar on the skincare. I think it's the best skincare on the planet. Over 73% of people see results in 2 weeks. I used to sell the most expensive skincare, Obagi, SkinCeutical, SkinMedica. You know how many people saw results in 2 weeks? Nobody. We get testimonies all the time on our skincare. It's $188 for a 3-month supply. I used to sell one serum from SkinMedica that was $250 and lasted 28 days, and you didn't see results. So that's a whole thing by itself. We have a sports line that can stand on its own, and I can talk about that for an hour. We have a coffee that has cordyceps in it. It's alkalinizing. That doesn't give you the jitters. It gives you focus. I mix it with my protein shake, the protein shake you see up above, and some ice, and just, oh my gosh, it's the best. And so that's our cordyceps coffee mixed with the rebuild from the sports line. We have a kids line. We have a metabolic reset program that's a 6-week program. If you're like, okay, I get just adding the 30-day servicing on and continuing my Chick-fil-A habit and continuing, your bad eating habits, but maybe you're at a place where you're ready to make a radical change. Maybe you drink too much and you eat too much. You need to change it all. We have a 6-week metabolic reset that's phenomenal. So I'm not going into all of that. I'm giving you kind of a glimpse of what we've got. Most people start with the 30-day servicing, the Core Plus. So you guys can go to livepure.com right now. livepure.com. Use the little magnifying glass up in the top corner and type in Core Plus. It's $289. It's less than $10 a day to service your body for 30 days. You are worth it. 9 out of 10 of you will repeat purchase 2 or 3 products a month. You'll probably get rid of your vitamins that you're taking right now that you can't tell when you take. And when you don't take, you'll get rid of whatever your omegas are, and you'll replace them with what we have here. See, I'm not here, neither the healthcare providers, for your results in 30 days and your feel good and your bowels improving. And we're here for the 90-day lab work changes. That's when it gets real fun. That's why the healthcare providers say, well, we don't usually see this stuff. So yeah, we're on board. So livepure.com. I'm going to change gears and talk about the business side of it. If you heard me say $289 for the Core Plus and you thought, gosh, that's expensive, I can't afford that every month. It's not every month, guys. I didn't say it's every month. The 1-day, 30-day servicing. You'll start to run out of a few things at the end of 28 days, and you'll be able to tell if it affected you in a positive way, and you'll decide probably to reorder about $100 to $125 a month worth of products for your health. Your health is worth it. Your body is worth it. Okay. But if you said that's too expensive, then you should seriously look at becoming a brand partner. Once you add the Core Plus to your package, you go to checkout, create an account. It's going to ask you, do you want to be a preferred customer? Yes. Get the 25% off. Give them your email address. There's no membership fee. There's no obligation to purchase again. There's a 90% chance you will purchase again. And if you do, choose to go on SmartShip, because you get the products for cheaper, you get reward points, you get all kinds of stuff if you go on to their SmartShip program. But again, if $289 seems like too much for you, if you're a business owner, if you understand the power of multiple streams of income, maybe you have friends who have been through the massive upturn in our industry in the last month. You know, people that were making 6 figures a month because they got involved in some skincare or makeup companies 5 to 10 years ago. And you're like, you know what? Is this one of those things? Yes, it is. Except it's not skincare and it's not makeup. It's for 100% of the demographic. We offer a 30-day satisfaction guarantee and no one knows about us. Yes, it is. Have you been looking for a way to create additional income from home? I was blessed to land on this 15 years ago. Blessed. It was the beginning. We didn't know what we were doing. We have really worked to create a system where anybody can do this in 30 minutes a day. If you're looking to build a business, do you have 30 minutes a day? You guys, you can sit in your car. I did it today outside of the gym. You can sit in your car and do the daily activities that are 30 minutes a day for 30 days. And what we see is that people create $2,000 of income in their first 30 days. And that by the end of 3 months, if they do the 30 minutes a day, they typically have over $2,000 a month of residual income coming in. The question is, will you commit to doing 30 minutes a day? We also have learned that most people who join are not typical employers or entrepreneurs. So they struggle with, what do I do every day? We give you, you get texts, you get emails, we give you exactly what to do in those 30 minutes a day. So if you've been looking for an additional stream of income, if you're worried about your future finances, if you are excited about the final opportunity to pay off some debt, we have got a program here. Great testimony. Guys, we have so many different stories of people who've had success over the years. And one thing I want you to know is you're building two teams. Can you think of two people who might watch a presentation like this and say, you know what? I have 30 minutes a day. I can make a list of 20 people. I can invite those 20 people to take a look. This is what we know. I've been doing this 15 years, guys. If you invite 20 people to take a look the way we teach you, 10 will watch and two will join. And then we teach those two to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. And what happens is at the end of 3 months, you've got 4,000 people who are consuming our products every single month. They're ordering 3 of our products every single month. And just to make it super simple for you, what that rolls out to for you is $8,000 a month of team bonuses. I know that sounds crazy, but as I said, there's been an upset in the industry, and many of you have heard from people who are making 5 and 6 figures a month from other companies, right? I'm not making claims about what you'll make here. I'm just telling you, there's some people who do very well in this industry. The key is having a product that's for 100% of the demographic and a product that people will repeat purchase. Okay, $4,000 a month or $8,000 a month seems crazy, right? Cut that in half, 4,000 a month. Cut that in half, 2,000 a month. That's where I'm saying in 3 months, $2,000 a month of residual income. This doesn't include all of our bonuses. This is just inviting 20 people to take a look, knowing that 10 will, having two decide to plug in and spend 30 minutes a day. The other 18 we continue to share stories with, and eventually they become customers. What do you think happens in the 6 month? Oh, I can tell you. I've been doing this 15 years. There's no cap to what you can make. Okay. Unlike where I was as a PA, there was a cap that I kept meeting. I get called into the office. You make too much for a PA. You're making more than the doctors. They don't like it. There's no cap here, guys. You can make whatever you want. So as you get ready to get started, livepure.com. Remember that. You can start wherever you want to. As a customer, we encourage Core Plus and Core Complete. But if you're looking at the business, first of all, the most you can spend on the business is $2,300, but most people come in at around this $750 package. By the way, our company has just partnered with PayPal to where when you get started and you go to livepure.com and you choose to get started with one of these packs, it will ask you if you want to start with PayPal, where you can actually have a soft pull on your credit and you don't have to use one of your credit cards. They allow you to pay it back in 4 separate payments. So that $750 package is actually $675 with a coupon that whoever invited you has. So I would text them right now. They only have a few of them. Text them right now and say, I'm interested in getting started with the business value package with that coupon. And this is my favorite products. All in one package. You get both the capsules and the liquid. You have everything you need to make my smoothie every morning. This is a system that duplicates easily, and you still have the 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Why would someone do the larger package? Well, they have access to our 6 and 7 figure earners. They have access to our Q&A call on Tuesday nights. They have access to our leadership retreats. And there's an increased bonus that the company offers you through the end of the year. So that's about $4,000 worth of products for $2,200. And if you have a family, I started with the VIP package with no intention of telling anyone. I just wanted the products for my whole family. And so that's the business VIP package. Again, you can go to livepure.com, use the search box, type in whichever one you would like. Be sure to ask for the coupon, which is only for that smaller package, the business VIP package. If you like to travel for free to luxury locations, this is over 40 people that we helped earn a trip to the Amalfi Coast in Italy 2 years ago. This is over 50 we helped earn a trip to Greece last year. George Clooney was there the week before us. My husband and I have stayed at a hotel in Australia that we earned with this company, and Anthony Hopkins was in the spa with my husband one morning. Like, they take us to the creme de la creme of the hotels. We're going to Switzerland in a couple of weeks, and next year's trip is to the Maldives. So if you like to travel, one of the ways that the company says thank you so much for opening your mouth and sharing this with others is to take you on trips around the world. So I can promise you this, if you don't change, nothing will change. So stay on. I see there's questions coming in already. Stay on, ask your questions. I'm here to answer them. I go live every Monday night for you, for your 20 that you're going to invite to jump on, whether they watch a video, we show you what videos to send them, or whether they decide that they're going to come on and ask questions. I'm here to answer whatever questions. I'm an open book. Oh, there was no sound to the testimony. Sorry about that, guys. We will, Amy, I know you're on. I think Colette invited you. We'll make sure that Colette sends you that testimony afterwards. And then Jess, let me know who invited you, and I'll make sure that whoever invited you sends you David and Lindley's testimony as well, so that you can hear that. If you have any questions or you would like the code, ask for that as well. Somebody is asking me if it really requires 30 minutes. Yes. And what I've learned from doing this for so many years, guys, is like, if we don't give you exactly what to do in the 30 minutes, people will sit down and be like, okay, this is my time to build my business, but they don't know what to do. So they start scrolling on Facebook. We teach you exactly what to do in the 30 minutes. If you can be consistent, coachable, and willing to get a little uncomfortable. It's not always easy to call somebody and say, hey, I found something amazing. You should take a look. Do some people choose to post on social media? Absolutely. Amy, you were invited by my friend Colette. She has earned the trip to Switzerland, the trip to Greece, just by posting on social media and selling a large amount of our skincare. So we have people joining us in Switzerland in a couple of weeks who own eye clinics where they just sell the Pure XL and the Vision One to their patients who come in because they've seen such radical changes in their clients' eyesight with these specific supplements. So they sell so much of it to their clients. We have physicians who increase their monthly profits by $10,000 to $15,000 a month just by moving products through their offices. So that's an option as well. And I don't have an office. I'm not huge on social media. I feel convicted about that. I should be better about it, but I'm trying. But I really just talk to people in my life. And if I hear someone complaining, I'm like, something that can help you. If I send you something, will you watch? And when I first started, I made very specific phone calls and said, listen, I don't know where you're at in life, but something has come across our plate that's radically changed our life. Are you open to taking a look? Okay, Lori invited you. Great, Jess. So you can, I'll make sure that Lori has them, that testimony sent to you. And then again, they both have codes for you guys if you choose to come in with one of those packages. So thank you guys so much for joining. I will be live again every Monday night. If you have other questions, get back to the person who invited you. Please don't go into the witness protection program. Please don't do that. Like we're not gonna chase you down. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It's all about your timing, right? But just let them know it's not for me. That's fine. Thank you for your time tonight. We know that time is valuable and you can't get it back. So thanks so much. I hope that